Hi guys, this is Mudupi speaking, and now I just want to show you how to answer question 1, that is DBE, Department of Basic Education 2018, question 1 and 2. Now we are going to start with question 1. If you look at this, it ends up at question 1.1.4, and that is 27 marks. Now guys, I just want us to go through this, and it will go like this. Yeah, first of all, I just want to tell you that my name is Mudupi Philemon, a well-known mathematics teacher, and I am also known as Dups De Genius. Right, guys, these are the solutions. Question 1 is always solve for x. Now we are having this situation, which is 3x minus 1 into x plus 4 equals 0. Now from this we can see that this is already factorized. There is no need to break the brackets. Now yours to do is to look at the right hand side. If it's 0, then there is no need to break the brackets. You just equate the two factors. Equate the two factors to 0 and then solve for x. That will be 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, and then 3x equals 1. Then you divide throughout by 3, and then your x will be equal to 1/3. And when it comes to this, x plus 4 equals 0, and that will be x minus 4. Now, these are both solutions. And then when we go to 1.1.2, which is 2x plus 9x minus 14 equal to 0, correct to 2 decimal place. Now, when you get something like this, it tells you exactly that you need to use a quadratic equation. So let's use that. We have 2x squared plus 9x minus 14 equals that. Our a is 2 and our b is positive 9, whilst our c is negative 14. Now, according to the formula, that is quadratic formula, which says is x is equal to minus b plus minus the square root of delta all over 2x. 2a, then you just substitute. This is your b is 9, then it's 9 squared minus 4 into a, which is 2, then minus 14, which is c, then all over 2a, 2 into 2. Now you put this into your calculator as it is, and then you write the first answer here. That is, the first one will be a positive, while the second one you will just delete the positive and put in the negative, and that's it. So let us just move again to another question. Another question is this one, which says the root of 3 minus 26x is equal to 3x. This is an equation. We solve for x. But now, here you have two sides which are equated, but the other one is different from the other. Why? Because on the left-hand side, you have the square root sign, whereas on the right-hand side, you don't have that. So, the square root of another side is equal to the other side to the power 1. Wow, this is excellent. The exponent on the other side is to the power half. The exponent on the other side is 1. Excellent. Now what do we do? we square. In order to get rid of that half, we have to multiply by 2 in order to make 1. We already have the right hand side being 1. Now what you do on the left hand side, you must also do on the right hand side. So we start here. We square this. This is 3x minus 26 under the square root sign, then is squared, and that is equal to, the right hand side is 3x and squared, that gives you 9x. Then that is equated to, the square root takes off the squared, and then you will be left with 3 minus 26x. Now take this to that other side. You will be left with 0 to this side, and then here you have 9x squared. Then by transposing that to that other side, you'll be having 9x plus 26 minus 3. And then by factorization, you will have this. The factors of 9 times 3 is 27 minus that is positive 26. Now, therefore, the factors is 9x minus 1 and x plus 3. Then your x is equal to 1 over 9 and x is equal to minus 3. Now, here you have two values of x. Now, in order to get the solutions, the first thing that you need to do, because you see that here you have a root sign. Now, substitute both in the equation. If the equation balances, then they are both solutions. If they don't, with one solution, therefore that particular solution is not part of the solution. So that is, that x value is not part of this equation, the solution for this equation. So let's move again. Let's move to 1.1.4. Here you have the two factors, and that is greater than that. What do we do? What do we do? Yes, we must transpose this to this side. Now what we did here is wrong. We need to have greater than and then greater than like that. We normally make these mistakes. And then this should be like that. Now, these are your critical values. That is the first one. For this to be, you need to check the critical values. Now, this is not. Normally, I just want to make you aware of this. This is not the correct situation. Now, these are the critical values at 7 and minus 1. Now, the second thing is to draw the graph. You have minus 1 is there, and then 7 on that side. This is x. So what's going to happen? Your graph is concave up, because your a here is positive. It will be concave up. Now we draw this concave up. And then for the solution, that is number 3, the solution. We write the solution here. The solution will be like this. That is here, that is the x, and then you have minus 1 and then 7 here. Now let us look at that. This graph says is greater. Now by greater, that means we concentrate on everything that is above the x-axis. Now by flipping this along the x, flip that along the x, that is the part which is above that. You just collapse it, and then it will give you, because here is greater than, you are going to have a blob, and then you just collapse them. Then it's just like that. Now this will be your solution, guys. Now another one is 1.3. Now for 1.3, The question said, um, prove that x squared plus 2xy plus 2y squared cannot be negative for x and y is an element of real numbers. So guys, this is it. This is it. This is it. So let us check that. What will that? It cannot be negative. That is what they said. Prove that this cannot be negative. Guys, what I found here is that from this, we got another thing. Yeah. Let me show you. I just want to show you, guys. Yeah, from this, you get x squared plus 2x then plus y plus 2y squared. If you look at this, you can't go like this. I just wanted to show you what stupid mistakes we normally do. You can't go. This is not going to take you anywhere. So what is needed is you get rid of this. Don't do that. This is wrong. Wrong go. So you go it your way. You have A, B is 2y, and then C is 2y squared. Then you use the discriminant, that is delta, the discriminant. Now, the discriminant will determine the roots of that particular expression if it was an equation. But in this case, it is not an equation. Now, let us check this expression. The derivative, the discriminant is equal to y all squared minus 4 into a1, then c is 2y squared, and that gives you minus 4y squared. And this is the discriminant. Remember, the discriminant is always under the root sign. So this is negative. The discriminant is negative. Now, so that means we will get non-real roots. What does that tell you? If you get non-real roots, that means there will be no roots. That is why the question says there cannot be negative. Yeah, prove that this cannot be negative or bad. It cannot be negative. It can be. It cannot be negative. Because if you have non-real roots, therefore, then you just substitute, you'll see. This is non-real. If it's non-real, the roots will be up. Therefore, there are no real roots. There are no real roots. So another thing is, we move next to question number 2. Question number 2 is we are given this quadratic pattern. They say it's a quadratic pattern. Yes, quadratic pattern. Now, if it's a quadratic pattern, guys, what you need to know is you must have the first as well as the second difference. So we have 5, 10. I'm going to show you this. You have 5, 10. This is question 2. You have 5, 10, 5, 10, then 17, 17, then 26. Now this is question 2, Q2, 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 Q2. Question 2. Now guys, look at this. Look at this. That and that. Now 10 minus this, that gives you 3. This minus that, that gives you 7. This minus that, that gives you how much? This minus that. That gives you, it should be 9. It should give you 9. This minus that, no, it's 5, guys, man. It's 5. Yeah, sometimes my 3 looks like 5. Oh, this is stupid of me. Okay, now let's move forward. Then we get the difference here is 2. It's 2. Now this is our constant, and this constant will be equal to the the second derivative is 2a, and then the first derivative is 2a plus b, and then the first term is a plus b plus c is equal to 5. Now let's check that. We started from the bottom, then upwards. How do we do that? How do we do that? I'm gonna show you. Right. Now let's start it from here. We have 2a plus equals 2a equals 2. Therefore, by dividing both sides by 2, you get your a is equal to 1. Now the same applies. We take the first derivative. The first derivative is 3a plus b, and that gives you 5. Now your a it's 1, then we have 3, then plus b equals 5. This is 3, it's minus that side, then your b is equal to 5 minus 3, and it gives you 2. But now from the first, that is here, a plus b plus c is equal to the first term. Now we have another one. Now the next step, which is the third step, is 3. It's a plus b plus c equals the first term. Now your a is 1 plus b is 2 plus c equals 5. This is 3. Therefore, our c is equal to 2. Now, the question is, given the formula, write down the next 2 terms. The next 2 terms. Cool. What do we do for 2.2.1? I'm going to show you. For 2.2.1, 2.1.1, sorry, 2.1.1. Then what do we do? Write down the next 2. The next 2, that should be term number 1, 2, 3, 4, term number 5, and that. Then when you add this plus that, you get 7. 10 plus 7 is 17, then plus 9. 7 plus 2 is 9. Then you're going to plus here 2, that will be 11, that will be 37. The first one will be term number 37. 37 is 2, then it gives you 11. 11 plus that, that is 37. Then you add 2 to 11, that gives you 13. 13 plus this, that gives you 50. Now you wrote those 2. Write down, that is the answer to question this. Write down the 2 terms of the pattern. Those 2 terms are 37 and 50. Fine. Now let's get to 2.1.2. Determine the formula for that. Now, I'm going to do this. 2.1.2. Now for the formula, we have worked throughout this by finding out the first, second, and then the third. And then what do? Tn is equal to an squared plus bn plus c. Now, what do we have? We have our a is 1, then 1 times n squared, it will be, no. 1 times, it will be 1 times n squared, then plus b, your b is, this is c, your b is 2. It's 2 into n. Then plus c is another 2. Now, meaning this is n squared plus 2n, then plus 2. Now, let's check with term number 1. This will be 1 squared plus 2 into 1, then plus 2. This is 4 plus 1 is 5. Let's look at that. It's 5. Then let's check with term number 2. It will be 2 squared. Term number 2, it will be 2 squared plus 2 into 2, then plus 2. 2 squared plus 2 squared, that is 4, then plus 2, that gives us 10. And this gives us 5. So let us check with this. It's 5, 10. That's it. So there is no need to check those. So we have that. We have it. Fine. Now, which term of the sequence is that? Now, what you need to do, I'm going to give you a clue here, and then 2.1.3. 2.1.3, what happens? We have this. This is Tn. Our Tn is equal to 16. No, it's 17. 1765. 1765. Now, this is n squared plus 2n plus 2 equals 1765. Now, you transpose it to that side, is n squared plus 2n, then minus 1763 equals 0. Now, what we need to do is to use n is equal to minus b is 2, plus minus 2 squared minus 4 into 1 into minus 1763. Then under, that's it. Then all over 2a. Then that is a is 1. Therefore, your n is equal to, or n is equal to. Now, here we are going to have another value being negative, because a negative sign is made by positive and minus. So we are going to reject a negative value. So by substituting this, you'll get your positive value. Now, the correct one will be positive. This one, which is going to be negative, a negative is rejected. You reject that. That is a negative value. You're going to reject it. So you do it. I don't do it for you. That is your quiz. I just helped you to get to that. Okay. Now here we have, it says, the first 24 terms of the sequence. This is arithmetic sequence, guys. It says the first arithmetic sequence. There are 24. 24. Right. Now, if it's an arithmetic series, that means the D must be the same. So how do we do this? Calculate the sum of all natural numbers from 35 to 100 that are not divisible by 7. Right, this is easy. Because what you do here, you are going to check this. Let us do this. I just want to show you it's 2.2. For 2.2, you have 3542. It's 35 plus 42 plus 49 plus 49 plus then 196. Now guys, look at this. 42 minus that gives you 7. 7 plus this is that, then plus 7, it gives you that until. Because this is arithmetic sequence. No, series. It's not a sequence because of the plus sign. It's a series. So, guys, what does this tell you? You add each and every. This is exactly divisible by 7. So, the question is, calculate the sum of all natural numbers from 35 to 196 that are not divisible by 7. Right. This question, it carries 5 marks. But according to this, there are no terms which are not divisible by 7. So the sum the sum is 0. You cannot find the sum of the numbers which are not divisible by 7. You cannot, because all of them are divisible by 7. Therefore, there is no sum. There are no numbers that you can add up. Hey, this is so interesting. It's so interesting. And that was question 1 and 2. Question 1 and 2. So, that is what we needed to do for today, guys. Yeah. Then I just want to tell you guys that whenever you do something that is mathematics, you need to be sure of what you are doing. And without that, I'm telling you, you will be doomed. Now, let us just take a recap of this. Always make sure that you check your questions. This is question 1, and this is solve for x, and then here it's simplify, and then solve for simultaneous equation, and then prove that this. Normally the last one is always a quiz. So please make sure that you get through all this. This is the easiest question. And this is 9% of the total examination. So for question 2, For question 2 is always um, patterns. And this cost about 15. Now look at this, guys. If you divide this by 3, that is 15 over 300, then multiply by that if you want to get a percentage. Normally just divide by 3. This will be 5%. 9 plus 5. With these two questions, it's 9 plus 5. And that gives you 14%. 14%. So guys, these two questions is a must to get them correct. I will like you to make sure that simultaneous equation, you get it right, because the last one is always a quiz. Simultaneous equation is always there. Then you have simplification and then solve for x. The first part is always solve for x, guys. And look at this. If you don't know how to factorize, please make sure you use quadratic formula. But if the left hand side here is 0, you just equate there 2 factors to 0. But if it's not 0, you break the brackets and then go use the quadratic formula. So guys, this is it. This is it. And with those words, I would like to say, I wish you a very pleasant examination, to you and other people around South Africa. I just want you to follow maths as a science, and please make sure that you also motivate other people to be like you, but to work as hard, as smart as they can, not hard, but as smart as they can. We are using smartphones, so why do we have to use analog brains? Smartphones are used with smart brains. So, guys, this is Dups the Genius, all the way from Lady Brand, F2235 Flamingo Manyati. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.